You know, I'm a person that dreams a lot. Mostly nightmares because my brain likes to torture itself, but sometimes it makes up some serious weird crap, and sometimes it's based off the books I read. I really didn't expect to go to bed 2 nights ago and find myself using Threadlight magic and being so bad at it that my only option was to run away very fast from the bad guys. That's voice of war for ya. Voice of War is a little gem brought to you by author Zack Argyle. Never mind this being his very first book, it ended up among the top 10 finalists of the 6th self-published fantasy blog-off in 2020, which is insane. Congrats to the author. After Winds of Strife and The Crown of Death, I wanted to get into more self-published books. Voice of War was brought to my attention, and my attention it caught. The world building. The world building is easily the best thing about this book, and it really doesn't give you any time before hitting you with it. The very first scene is nothing if not fascinating. Families are allowed only 2 children, unless the third has either blue or green eyes. Okay, I see. This is some light eyes versus dark eyes and us dark eyes are still losing. Nice! This couple brings in their child for the rite of revelation. Can you tell it's creepy just by the name? Good. Because in a very cultish fashion, a priest puts some shady chemical thingy in the child's eye, and the newborn is revealed to have brown eyes. Heresy! Having brown eyes means he's achromic, which is a more delicate way of saying this child needs to die. So yeah, next thing you know, the poor baby is screaming in pain and then... silence. Crying already? Brace yourselves, folks. This is only chapter 1, or half of it, and this is only Alkia. As the story unfolds, we get to see Felia and the Fernwild, both locations with very different structures, so much that the 3 feel like entire different worlds. The Fernwild even hides an entire secret population living in the trees with glowing wolves! What's even more awesome is how Alkia, Felia, and the Fernwild eventually come to connect. Good stuff. The magic. The rules are simple. There are 2 types of light eyes. Having blue eyes means you're a sapphire and you can push. Having green eyes means you're an emerald and you can pull. By the way, did those 2 words need to be in italics all the time? They look like me when I try to get out of bed and it's so annoying. But rules are made to be broken. You can no longer only push or pull through Threadlight. You can create threads and destroy them. And man, is this good! I love the twists here and the danger they represent within the story. Threadlight magic was already good despite its simplicity, but those new possibilities made it infinitely more interesting, and I can't wait to see how it all works out. Keep Endin. I really liked the scenes in Keep Endin. I wanted to know what happened between those walls because we have quite a few interesting characters walking around. Malachus. This guy seemed nice enough. I've read too much about crappy lords in fantasy and I thought he would be one of them. So I was surprised to see him be actually decent, though a bit clueless about most things. He gave me some Terramike vibes at times, like he was confused and dumb, or maybe he played dumb. I'm keeping an eye on you, Malachus. But perhaps the most intriguing thing about him is how affectionate he was with Chrys. It didn't come off as strange at first, but he proved to be so devoted to Chrys for no apparent reason other than him being a good general, to the point of lying for him when Chrys did a major oopsie. Something's fishy. Or maybe I'm just paranoid. Henna. I knew you were trouble when you walked in. Henna had this dangerous aura that got confirmed the moment she barged in with a pile of obsidian found in some shady cave. She calls it Thread Dead, which is apparently insulting to acromats, and as a brown-eyed fella myself, I do confirm. That's offensive. I'm offended. You've offended me. The obsidian thingy is immune to the thread magics and therefore sounds like a weapon of massive destruction, and the fact that Henna and Malachus are both so happy about it makes me so concerned. Anyway, all of this to say, Henna is annoying. I'm kidding. She was alright. Until she tried to kill our squad of good guys near the end. But hey, she was just doing her job. And she did eventually realize that Chrys was trustworthy. Jurius. You know, whatever book or series I read, especially of the fantasy genre, there always seems to be that one insufferable guy that I can't stand. And I was convinced Jurius would be that guy. He just had that special energy to him. But, believe me, you'll be shooketh to hear this from me. I didn't hate him that much. But we'll talk more about this later. Eleandra. So kind, so sweet. I instantly liked her, which from a writing perspective is great, since she was described as easily loved by everyone. It worked on pretty much all the characters. It worked on me. This is exactly why I can't trust her. Most of the time, people aren't nice just for the sake of being nice. I learned this the hard way. So this Eleandra being such an angel makes me suspicious. I'll keep liking her from afar, and not too much, until eventually I'm proven right or wrong. We'll see. And all of this brings me to our key character, Chrys. Not Chrys with an I, it's Chrys with a Y. As in, why are you so lame? Just kidding. How do I put it? Chrys is my least favorite thing about Chrys. Let me explain. Chrys's chapters were very interesting because we had an insight on more than his own personal little story. As a high general, he was involved with the politics of Alkia. We were introduced to plenty of characters through him. And there was the whole Blood Thief circus too. There's a whole variety of plot pieces we get from Chrys that kept me invested. Chrys himself as a character wasn't all that interesting. He's a decent guy. The only thing that sets him apart is his love for his family, which I thought was beautiful. Speaking of his family, they're a handful. Chrys's wife Ariel is
pregnant, pregnant.
And since it's already obvious we're not allowed to be happy, she seems to be having a miscarriage? Or that's what I thought at first. Chrys yells at a manservant to call in a doctor, and this random guy shows up like, "We take care of this, you peasant." And bim bada boom, Ariel's fine again. Nobody's dead? Okay. Oh, but the strange man needed to be even stranger and said, "Your child is the key." Great. We have a chosen one, everybody. We must protect. Maybe with the knife that the strange man gives Chrys? We don't know. The guy's already gone, and it's only now that the manservant comes back with the doctor. Ah yes, the doctor. Who the f was that just now? Fast forward to the night the baby decides to get out. Chrys discovers some crazy secrets and his house is attacked by the blood thieves. You know, those guys Chrys chases after for like 2 seconds in the book. And just as Ariel is about to give birth. Bad timing, woman. Can you hold it? Yes, Chrys. As if we were talking about some poop and not a demon child. Chosen one, I'm sorry. Anyway, those blood thieves, they all die, and baby Aiden is born. Fast forward to Aiden's rite of revelation. Uh-oh, we've been here before. It didn't go out very well. And this time around, it's straight up a disaster! Aiden isn't a sapphire like his dad. He's not either an emerald like his mom, and he's certainly not a lowly acromat such as myself. He has yellow eyes. No. Heresy! The priest is revealed to be Zeta. Surprise! And he kills someone in order to run away with Chrys and his family and keep them safe. Unfortunately, they are chased by Jurius and other soldiers. The Zeta priest, Endin, or as I like to call him, Panda Man, stays behind and dies. The others are as cute, so it's fine. They spend the rest of the book going through the Feywild and eventually hiding in Zedala. All the credit goes to Ariel for running around with her baby so shortly after giving birth. Chrys is passed out the whole time. Now, there's a couple things about Chrys I didn't mention yet. His full name, for instance. You ready? It's Chrysanthemum.
Chrysanthemum.
Thank you. This was pretty funny. Like, silly, funny. But it's also something the Zeta people do, giving flower names to their kids that I find cute. Something a little bit less cute is the apogee. You can't talk about Chrys without mentioning the voice inhabiting his skull rent-free, which seems to be some sort of trend among fantasy heroes. You know what they say, the more the merrier. More seriously, having a voice inside your head sounds like a most terrifying thing. And yet, the apogee wasn't all that scary. Let me control you, Chrys. You can't do this all alone. Look at you. You suck. I can help you. And it's like, yeah, whatever, shut up. Seriously, every single time. Repetitive much? But he did take over in the end, whatever the apogee really is, I don't know. But now we have something to worry about, I guess. Especially when Chrys was like, "Alright, toodles, losers." He just left. Excuse me, sir? Where do you think you're going? Yes, the whole place is burning down and Mr. Hyde is out, but your demon child is 2 days old and he can already create threats, for f***'s sake. Who's that Pokémon? It's Aiden, the demon child with a cute name. Laurel.
Ah, here we go again.
My tongue won't comply, so I'll just call her Elle, okay? Elle is... let's just say she reminds me of a certain character. I'm being harsh. Elle is not that bad. I expected Chrys to be the one main character, but there goes Elle stealing the show from time to time. I did like Chrys's storyline more, but I loved exploring Zedalem through Elle. Even though Elle's only dream is to leave Zedalem and go observe those airsick grounders, which I can understand. I was definitely an Elle in my angsty teenage years, sheltered and controlled by the elders in a comfortable environment that's also toxic as fuck. Elle, the character, was pretty much like Chrys to me. I didn't really care about her as a person. Aside from her being a brave, somewhat reckless girl that's also addicted to Threadlight, she didn't have anything that put hearts in my eyes. Though I'm far from hating her. She's pretty cool all around. That scene where she ran away both from the blood thieves and Chrys's squad was fun. And her special bond with the glowing wolf Asher is so endearing. Asher is the goodest boy, the cutest doggy, the coolest I needed to say that. Elle is also a troublemaker. She messes up one too many times and she's no messenger anymore. After that, she starts messing up on purpose just to infuriate the elders. So next thing she does is assault her grandpa. Not nice, Elle, and leaves. Oh, she eventually comes back. She knows her sole presence makes the elders angry. But yeah, again, I was much more interested in Elle's environment. Zedalem is very unique in many ways and I love its touch of mystery. The Fair and Wild is a magical forest. Glowing puppies, luminous fungus, giant color-shifting spiders?
Oh my god!
Burn those with fire! And it's funny that I'm talking about fire. We all know how it ended. I shouldn't be laughing. Especially when the giant magical ball that gives access to the Zeda realm is broken. It's gone. No more jumping on it and shooting up to the trees. So hey, I'm not against some Elle goodness. She's on the cover of the next book. Interesting. We'll see if she ends up like that one character. Jurius. I was so ready to throw around at this guy, but I was so wrong. He appears hostile pretty much right away, and for a reason. His son has been kidnapped by the blood thieves. As soon as this was revealed, I thought, okay, nobody's doing anything about it, or at least they're not succeeding, and he's angry. If he really cares, he must be doing something behind the scenes. And yep, he was doing a lot. But again, I don't blame him. Chrys kills people to protect his family. Jurius dances with the enemy. I actually felt bad for him. He's looked down upon when really he just does what he has to do. I said Panda Man, the priest, was dead. Psych. He's actually imprisoned in Keep Endin, and since he's the only one knowing about Chrys's whereabouts, he's tortured for the information by Jurius. That was quite a scene. So now Jurius knows about Aiden. Oof. But hey, Willow, Elle, and Luther come to the rescue. It doesn't work. Now Pandaman is dead. Did I mention he was Chrys's uncle? 5 seconds of silence for Pandaman. Okay, good. Let's not cry and instead have a round of claps for Willow. She's been the most amazing woman and mother this whole time, and she just lost her brother, but she still looks badass while mourning. This part was supposed to be about Jurius, wasn't it? Well, yes, Jurius didn't enjoy hurting Pandaman, and despite everything, he still lost his son in the end. Potentially. We're not sure yet, but I wouldn't be surprised. In which case, be brave, Jurius. This suffering is the price to pay for being a character in a fantasy novel. Alabella. Okay, Loki? I don't know what that means. Alabella might be my favorite character. Yeah, I think she is. I'm gonna set all my morals aside real quick and say Alabella is superior. I believe in Alabella's supremacy. From her first appearance, I knew she would be very interesting. Yellow eyes, creating threads. What a queen! I can't believe she's related to that dude Jellium or whatever. Her brother has like 100 wives and 100 more children. Which, what the fuck? Ladies and gentlemen and everybody in between, I think we found the Stravenger of this world. Imagine the amount of people carrying his genes. Ugh! I'm assuming Alabella's the one behind the experiments going on, and she needs Threadweaver blood to create new Threadweavers, which is so evil, but kinda nice too. She experienced happiness for the first time when she used Threadlight, and she wanted to share it with the mere mortals. I mean, given my dream, I would kindly decline. I'm no hero. I was terrified. Oh, by the way, she said she became a Threadweaver by accident. I don't know how you accidentally do that, but I want to hear that story. Alverax. Ooh, new chapter. Who dis? Author really said, okay, we're at the halfway point of the book. You thought it was too late to introduce a new character? Here's one. And I just sat there like,
oh, hi. Wait a minute. Who are you?
And why are you naked in a pit full of dead bodies? That's a little concerning. Surprisingly enough, this storyline was more than a naked guy that pukes a lot, and turned out to be my favorite. This guy's specialty is the same as my own, being bamboozled by everyone. I'm only half joking. He really spent his time fooling around and getting betrayed. First by his girlfriend Jayla. Jayla, you suck! Then that girl that helped him run away from Jellium, but then sold him to Alabella, and I liked her. And finally, Alabella, that kinda lied to him about her shenanigans. Dude had it rough, especially with a name like that. Authors,
Tell me why!
do you always need to give such weird names to your characters? This one sounds like a curse word in some foreign language. You know what else sucks in this guy's life? He was experimented on. A normal guy whose body was messed with to turn him into a Threadweaver. Alverax is basically that obsidian dagger Chrys has, but in human form. I wish I had that power to cut out the toxic, abusive people out of my life. Snip, snip, snippity snip, motherfuckers. I can't decide who between Alabella and Alverax is the most powerful, but they're both scary and I love it. The ending. From what I've seen, usually the first book of the series resolves whatever main conflict it has while leaving enough loose ends to set up the sequels. In this book, nothing is resolved by the end. Who's that guy that helped Ariel? What's the half-faded note in the Blood Thief's hideout that Chrys was supposed to show Malachus but didn't? What do Zadalam's elders know exactly? What really happened to Elle's parents? Are the people I think are shady really secretly evil? What will happen now that so many characters have the power to destroy anything they want? So many questions. And I'm not even mad. Probably because I don't have to wait for book 2 since it's already out. Perks of being late to the party. I'll be honest, Voice of War is nothing groundbreaking, but who needs that when you have a compelling story that makes you go, just one more chapter, when you're definitely supposed to be asleep? The characters are decent enough, the story keeps you reading, and the world building is remarkable. So that spot among the top 10 finalists totally deserves. Once I'll be done with the mountain of things I need to do, I'll be reading Stones of Light, the sequel. I'm trying to figure out what this title could be referring to, but I'm too brain dead at the moment. But before I leave, I can't believe we're over 500 on this channel already. This is insane. Thank you very much. Like the video and share it, and maybe soon we can get to 1,000 witches. Yep, I decided you were all witches. Now, excuse me, I'm going to take a nap.